Oh, wow, beautiful. Okay, okay. Thank God you can hear me. All right, that's beautiful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bond Conference. Okay, all right. Welcome to the Bond Conference with the theme, The Myth of Purpose and Career. My name is C.I. Chukuma, and I'm going to be your host for today. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This conference, like you know, it's a 2 days conference, and it's a 2 days event. And today is day one, and tomorrow will be day two, and also the grand finale. Ladies and gentlemen, our speakers are so excited. We've been speaking with them since start planning for this event, and they are so excited and happy to deliver maximum value to you. All right, so there are a few things you could do to get the most out of this conference. One is to get your notepad ready with you. If it's not there, get your notepad and your writing materials. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay. I have my writing materials already with me here. Okay. And so ready to take down notes. So you better get your own ready. Take down notes. Like you know, knowledge does two things for you. Knowledge teaches you what to stop doing, and knowledge also teaches you what to start doing. And so it's important that you take down notes because, like you know, um, the saying goes that a blunt pen is better than a sharp memory. So take down notes, take down a few things that you can apply after this event. All right, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, I'd enjoin you, I would advise that you turn off your microphones, your camera, because you are not going to be needing them for this. Okay, you can comment or say what, ask your questions on the comment section there. Okay, and we will do it to attend to your questions and answer them for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, also use the caption. There's a caption. Okay, let me. All right, so use the caption. Turn on your caption. Your caption is located. If you are using your phone, if you are using your phone, your caption is located on those three icons at the topmost right hand part of your screen. Those three icons, click on the icon, and then you see turn on caption. And so when you turn on caption, you can read through whatever the speaker is saying when you have, in case you encounter in network disorder. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to welcome you to Youlead Conference with the team Debunk, the might or the myths of purpose and career. All right, who else to welcome us and to introduce us to this event other than somebody who knows the nukes and crowning of Youlead? She has been with us since the inception. She has nurtured this baby into what it is today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about no other person than Praise God on Morgan. Ladies and gentlemen, please use the emojis to give a round of applause for.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Praise God Omarge, like Mr. C.I. rightfully said.
So praise God.
And I am the project director for Youlead Projects. Briefly, before the speakers come up and we go into the issues for the day and what we came here for, we're just going to be explaining a bit on what Youlead Project is about, what we do here, and what we intend to do with
Wow, beautiful.
the Debunk 2020 about purpose and career that have actually been driving us the wrong way. Before that starts, what is Youlead Project? What do we do here? What are we about? Who are these people? So we'll just run through it in a bit, okay? Youlead Project is a social enterprise that impacts the knowledge of personal leadership, professional skills, and with excellence, action, and a dedication to a visionary life that is anchored on a definite sense of purpose. What that means is that what we do here is that we are as focused on personal leadership as we are on the fact that you are alive. We are a social enterprise that is interested in every individual leading themselves, via learning skills, learning about life with excellence, action, and dedication to a visionary life that is anchored on a definite sense of purpose. We are not just doing all of these things for no reason. We are not just doing all of these things because we want to. We are doing these things driven by purpose, meaning, why are you here? Okay? It is a platform that expresses, nurtures, and positions young people, from schools, universities, among that, in the center of their journey of purpose. So, if you're a young person, you're in a secondary school, you're in a university, even in a primary school, welcome. This is for you. You are why Youlead Project exists. We want to see that you not only just, go through life, go to school, get a job when you graduate, and all those things. You actually have a life that is driven by purpose. Yeah, so I don't know if you can follow me. Can I see some comments? If you can follow me. Thank you. All right, that's awesome. What is the vision of Youlead Projects? Simple: to awaken a fierce sense of purpose in the heart of 1 million individuals and set them in hot pursuit of fulfillment. This is the vision. This is what drives us. We want to see young people with a fierce sense of purpose. We are tired of young people just living life and falling upon life and waking up in the morning to stumble into life with no direction. We want to see individuals who are driven by a fierce sense of purpose. Their actions, their decisions, their thoughts patterns, their relationships, the events they go to, the places they go to, are all driven by a very, very, very fierce sense of purpose as they are in hot pursuit of fulfillment. We believe in Youlead Project that only living a purpose-driven life can bring fulfillment. And so go, drive yourself as long as you know where you're driving yourself to. And we would help you. What we want to do is help you get that sense of purpose, get that purpose, find meaning, and then run in the direction of meaning. That's the vision for Youlead Project, to awaken a fierce sense of purpose in the heart of 1 million individuals. It's very small. And set them in hot pursuit of fulfillment, okay? That's what we do here. And our mission is to breed the next generation of professionals and social entrepreneurs globally. Okay, we believe that not only should you succeed at your career and succeed at what you intend to do in life, you should impact others with your life. You should impact others with your success. We are looking to breed a generation of personally fulfilled individuals in whatever profession, business, and sector they are placed, who will do more than that and begin to find a way to touch the society they are, to touch the people that they find around them, and go. I'll give an example of this. I saw a barber on Twitter some days back, and funny enough, it's something that people don't think or don't look at when they think about purpose. Yeah, but this guy has found purpose in being a barber. Not only does he do excellent work, his work is amazing, okay, but outside of that or beyond that, he's training a community of barbers to do excellent work and building a community of barbers where they can come and share information and ideas. Do you understand? That's what purpose is about. It's about taking the simple thing you know you can do and the thing that you are happy with, the thing you're passionate about, and changing your world with it. Okay? So yeah, this is basically what we do here at Youlead Project. And we have done this over 2 years now, since 2018, and in different ways, going to secondary schools among others. But now we're going to do it on a broader scale so more people can take part of it. This is where the Bunk 2020 comes in. Now, the Bunk, the myths of purpose and career, is very simple. We know that by virtue of societal norms and all the things that we have been used to in our society, there are myths surrounding purpose, surrounding career, that have made us see these things as some big stuff that cannot be understood, insurmountable. The idea of this conference is to bring them down to the tiniest bits, explain them to you in a way that you will understand, and then lead you to write your own personal statement of life. Okay? We want to bring the tools of life and career, help you design your own tools that you will use to push yourself forward in life and career, and then help you to navigate life, career, purpose with a sense of detailed vision. So you know where you're going to and you know why you're doing what you're doing. Okay, this is what the bunk is about. And we're going to be having amazing speakers. Trust me, I have heard these men speak, and you don't want to miss any session in this conference. We're going to be having Hanny Talker, Mr. Hansel Praise. He spoke to the in-house conference, and it was amazing. He simplified it to us in a way that I have not seen anybody do before. We're going to be having Mr. Martin Sekikondo, the founder of Youlead Project. We're going to be having Mr. Ibrahim Oredola, the founder of Skill NG. We're going to be having Plico, who's going to give us a spoken word piece, and I can promise you, it's going to be amazing. So something you want to miss. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for signing up for the Bunk 2020. Thank you so much for giving us your data and your time and your phone screens. Thank you so much for being here. I promise it's going to be an event you will never forget for as long as you live. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and welcome. Mr. CI, over to you, please.
Thank you, praise God. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's give praise God an emoji round of applause. Okay. A round of applause for praise God. I can't see the emojis. Let's give praise God an emoji round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Chelsea, thank you. I see you, Sagi, Choma, Juliet. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, okay, still to come, Pliku. Spoken word poetry by Pliku, ladies and gentlemen. That's one piece you don't want to miss out, or that's one part of the event you don't want to miss out. So, ladies and gentlemen, our speaker is ready to deliver maximum value to you. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's turn to our screen as we quickly go through his bio. Our first speaker for today is Hansel Praise, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Hansel Praise has seen himself grow organically to where he is today. He started off his career through internships and has gone on to work 2 other jobs from then on. Participated in the recruitment process of several multinationals as well as assisted with the recruitment for multinationals. He has made his mistakes along the way and can confidently say that he is someone you should listen to. Every message he passes across is from his application and not theory. He currently works with Sahara Group across several functions. He enjoys tweeting vacancies and teaching people how to navigate the labor market. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Hansel Praise. Hansel Praise has seen himself grow organically to where he is today. He started off his career through internships and has gone on to work 2 other jobs from then on. Participated in the recruitment process of several multinationals as well as assisted with the recruitment for multinationals. He has made his mistakes along the way and can confidently say that he is someone you should listen to. Every message he passes across is from his application and not theory. He currently works with Sahara Group across several functions. He enjoys tweeting vacancies and teaching people how to navigate the labor market. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Hansel Praise.
All right. Sorry about that. It's a slight issue, and we're rectifying that currently as we speak. Okay. Here's the deal. The first session, or the theme, or the title of the first session, is how to fail at your job. So briefly, in the next 5 minutes, I want you to take your pen and your paper. Mr. CI talked about having a notepad, yeah? And I'm sure we are with our notepads. If you're with your notepad, please bring it out. Take your pen and your paper and write down 5 ways you know to fail at your job. This is what is going to happen. When you write down those 5 ways and the speaker comes up, if he mentions any of your 5 ways, then you will have a special gift from us here at the Youlead Project. And we're going to appreciate you for knowing ahead of time what the speaker is going to say, okay? He's going to be taking the session, How to Fail at Your Job. This is especially for those people who are interested in having a career, following a career path. The importance of this session is because for some reason, people assume that when you talk about purpose, you talk about purpose to the exclusion of a career. Fortunately, it is not so. You can live in purpose and have a career. You can live in purpose and have a 9-to-5 job. You can live in purpose and work for somebody. It is important that we take note of this before our speaker comes up, because think about it. If living purposefully implies that everybody becomes an entrepreneur, breaks out and starts their own business, who will work for who? Who will be the employees that the employers employ? Okay, so purposeful living can be had, as it were, in the middle of a career. It's something called an entrepreneurial mindset, where you think like an entrepreneur, but you apply it to someone else's business. Okay, let me break it down. To think like an entrepreneur is to think proactively in terms of breaking ground and in terms of finding new ways to meet needs, solve problems. That's like design thinking, like an entrepreneur. Okay? But to bring the entrepreneurial thinking to a 9-to-5 job or to working for another person implies that you don't sit down and wait for an instruction before you move. You don't sit down and wait to be told what to do before you go and do. What you do is that you are proactive with everything that has to do with your job, and even going above the call of duty at your office. So you sit down and you think, if I owned this company, what would I want a person in my official position to do? To think entrepreneurially in your job is to do what you would have done if it were your company from your own position. Now, the reason why this is very important is because a lot of times we tend to lose out in the workplace, remain stagnated in the workplace because we do not meet the needs of our employers. And while people might not be able to articulate what they want every time, they know what they want. So you ask, why is an organization that is interested in purpose, talking about career? This is it. There is a very close relationship between purpose and career. Granted, where you are working might not be where your purpose is or where your purpose lies, but it definitely can be what you are doing to foster your purpose. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, for example, that you work in a filling station doesn't necessarily mean that your purpose is to fill people's tanks with fuel. Do you understand? But your purpose might be to make people happy. Purpose is not some massive thing where you have to like start a company and then go to the WHO and then get to the point of the UN. No, it's actually more basic than that. So your purpose might be to make people happy. And how do you do it? When people come to fill their tanks with fuel, you make them smile, you make them happy. So while your job might not be your purpose, some people's jobs are their purpose. I mean, as a medical doctor, if your purpose is to save lives, you most probably are working your purpose in your job. But some people's jobs are just ends or means, to the end that is their purpose. This is why we need to talk about what career is, talk about purpose, bring them together, and explain how they merge, where the gap between them is, and how we can navigate the both of them. So Mr. Hansel Praise is going to be taking how to fail at your job very soon. Thank you.
Can you all hear me clearly?
Hansel grew organically to where he is today. He started off his career through internships and has gone on to work 2 other jobs from then on. Participated in the recruitment process of several multinationals as well as assisted with the recruitment for multinationals. He has made his mistakes along the way and can confidently say that he is someone you should listen to. Every message he passes across is from his application and not theory. He currently works with Sahara Group across several functions. He enjoys tweeting vacancies and teaching people how to navigate the labor market. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Hansel Praise.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Can you all hear me clearly? Hello, can everybody hear me? Okay, fantastic. I'm seeing your comments, we can hear you. Okay, thank you. Okay, I will try and make this as simple as possible and as practical as possible so that at the end of our engagement this afternoon, you can hit the ground running. That is, you can apply some of the things you're going to learn because of this conversation. And I'll try my best not to bore you, because if it's getting too boring, you might lose interest, and I don't want you to lose interest because it's a very, very serious session. Many times you always hear the word career. I'm sure many of us don't know what that means. Well, let me just, in simple terms, whenever you hear the word career, it's just somebody's occupation that you've done within a considerable amount of time or considerable length of time. So you have something you're doing for a long period of time, that could serve as a career. Because many times you might think it's something so, what's the word? Like an utopia. Like, does it really exist? Like, you might be having some kind of thoughts, something very huge, something very big. Because I've had discussions with people, and when you ask them career, they really don't know what that word career means. So by the time you understand that a career is an occupation that you do within a significant period of time or duration, I mean, it will guide your decision at the end of the day. If you have that mindset and understanding, I mean, with that in mind, you can be able to do 2, 3, 4 different jobs, not be afraid, because at the end of the day, you're trying to build a career, more like a journey you're trying to build. Some people just end up in a certain occupation and then they build their way to the top. And that's why I hear somebody say, okay, I started as a HR officer, and he grew through the ranks, and then he became like a HR director after maybe like 15 to 20 years of hard work. So you can have like two different things you might be interested in at the same time. But then the one that you decide to build on within a considerable period of time will serve at the end of the day as your career. Now, I will now talk about the myths surrounding career. Whenever you hear career, there are different myths surrounding career. And some people will say, and then if you're on the same page now and understand that career means our occupation, and then so you now see a job advert that says they require XYZ. Let us use figures now to quantify it 100%. And you look at that job advert and you meet 80% of the requirements. Some of the myths around career is that please, if you don't meet 100%, don't bother applying because they will not call you. That is very wrong. Please, if you meet 80% of any job advert, it is good to apply, because many times employers will have to adjust when they cannot find that candidate that meets their specification 100%. Another myth around career is that is unless you know somebody, unless you have a connection. That is a wrong mindset. There are a lot of people that are getting jobs legitimately through the right process and through the right means. But if you harbor in your mind that to get a job in this country now, it is not possible. You must know somebody. Don't mind them. You must have connection. You must know one uncle or one big man somewhere. No, it's not true. Yes, of course, there's a place of knowing somebody. I cannot dispute that fact. There are people that get jobs by knowing somebody. Where I currently work, we have some employees we call political employees. We call them political employees because they got into the company through the connections of their parents, and their parents are the high and mighty in the society. So that's why I said we cannot completely rule out the fact that there's a place for connection. But there are still some of us that do not we don't know anybody, but then we still went through the normal routes and got into an organization. And I mean, thank God I'm not working in a Chinedu and Sons, and I'm working in a multinational, so that at least I have results to show for what I'm saying. I'm not just talking based on what I heard. At least I'm a living testimony to what. So everything I'm going to tell you today are things that I have personally applied, and it has worked. Another myth is that you have to follow your passion. I mean, your passion is not enough. Let me tell you, unless you want to go and drink garri, you want to go hungry. Passion alone is not enough when you're talking about career. You need to equip yourself and develop certain skills that will be useful in the workplace. Because at the end of the day, the workplace is like a marketplace. You are coming here to come and trade. It's an exchange. You bring your skills, they give you money at the end of the day. That money they call it either wage or salary. So you're coming here to come and trade. It's a marketplace. So if you don't have nothing that you're bringing to the table, my brother, I'm sorry, passion, that's what I'm saying. Passion is not enough. From what you are doing as an occupation, you can generate funds to pursue your passion, or to even fuel or fund that thing you call a passion. For example, you might just be passionate about, let me pick something, maybe passionate about feeding dogs, or passionate about dogs. Let me say dogs in general, you're passionate about dogs. But now, how would being passionate about dogs put food on your table, my brother and my sister? It's not enough now. So why don't I pick up a job somewhere and then generate funds that I can use to now buy dogs that I'm passionate about? And maybe eventually I can now resign later. I won't build a considerable amount of war chests and now pursue my passion, which is dogs. So that's where many people get it twisted. You want to wait until your passion materializes. No, it's not enough, please. It's not enough. I said then another myth is that maybe you eventually get a job and then you're in a bad place. The place is miserable. They are treating you anyhow. Some people will now say that you cannot leave because you just need to join them. So how will you just leave now? You just join the company. To be wrong, people will look at you as they'll look at you somehow. They'll call you a job hopper. They'll be like you don't have focus. That's another myth. But I'm sorry to disappoint you. If you enter a wrong place or find yourself being miserable at where you work, please, there's nothing wrong in resigning, in leaving such a place. In fact, at that point, you need to actively start looking out. Because gone are the days where, Many people jump from job A to job B. They say, yeah, you don't have focus on your job hopper. Those days are past. People know. Right now, companies are they're coming up with what they call employer brand and trying to see how they can win employee loyalty. So if any company is not playing their part, I mean, I'm sorry to say, employees will definitely leave them and move to a competitor or another company that is willing to treat them better. So there's nothing wrong in leaving job A and going to job B, no matter the duration you're spending. Even if it's just 3 months you spend there, even if it's just 2 months you spend there, if you're not getting the desired results, because this is your life we're talking about here, nobody else is. Because many times when you are being miserable at your job, or they make you feel miserable at your job, and you share this with somebody, because they don't know where the shoe is pinching you, and they are talking out of care and concern for you, they'll tell you that you should just stay and you should just manage. But you know where the shoe is pinching, you know you are the one facing the situation, you know it better. I know this thing I'm telling you, I can relate. And once I finish debunking some certain myths and we now go fully, I will share my journey, part of my journey with you so that you can pick some few learnings and lessons from it. Now, another myth I'll talk about is because you resume. Another myth is that people think that when you clock in and clock out, maybe because you go to your office by 6, you resume your office by 6 a.m. and you close by 10 p.m. That means they'll promote you, that means you're very efficient, no? At the end of the day, you're only paid and promoted for your accomplishments, for the results you bring to the table, nothing more. So that you clock in and clock out is not enough. Some people say, hey, I've worked for that company for 12 months now. Every day I always go to the office. They've not increased my salary, they've not done this. Well, the question you should be asking yourself is, what have you done for them? What have you actually brought to the table? Can you quantify your results? Now, okay, this is what I did. These were the processes I improved in this organization. It's not enough to just clock in and clock out. You wear ID card, you snap picture, you show your face in the office. Nobody is going to pay you for that or increase your salary because you're entering transport. Say, I pay my transport, I go to the office. It's not enough reason for anybody to increase your salary. That's not enough reason. How valuable are you to that organization? What are you contributing to the organization? That is what is so important. Now, another myth is that they didn't know how much I paid as school fees, that they were going to pay me this amount. Many people have this idea that as I leave university, if anybody that will not pay me, they will not pay me 150. Any company will not pay me between 100 to 150K. They should go and sleep. They should go to hell. They should go and do this. I cannot work for any. How can any company say I will collect 40,000 or I will collect 45,000? And that's wickedness. That's this. That's that. Well, let me shock you. I went to university where my school fee was 650,000 per session. Per session of the semester. Per session, sorry. 650,000. And this 650,000 is minus feeding, because you don't cook inside your room. We have a restaurant where you must go and buy food if you want to eat. So if you want to add all those your living expenses alongside your fees, I mean, you should be talking about well over $1 million that you're spending per session on yourself. Now, if you pay that kind of school fees for your child, or you know that is the fees you pay, when you want to when you're living in university, you tell yourself that any job I get, if they don't pay me a minimum 300,000, I'm not collect. In fact, that's even what I told myself that when I leave this university and I work, any job that not pay me minimum 250, I'm not her. That's the minimum I will ever collect if I leave. But let me show you. When I finished from university, I finished NYSC. That was when the reality of life dawned on you. Because I sat at home and I did not find it funny. I kept on applying to different places. I was getting interview invites. I was going for interviews. But the job was not forthcoming. Nobody seemed to make me an offer. Then one day, while I was on LinkedIn, because that time I used to wake up and sleep on LinkedIn. So I was seeing a lot of vacancies and I was always applying and I was getting a lot of invites. So the fact that I was getting invites for interview meant that I was doing something right. At least my CV was okay. And I was applying the right way and applying to the right jobs. That was why I was getting invites. But I wasn't getting an offer. That was my concern. So one day, one of the vacancies I saw that they were looking for an intern. Guess how much the salary was? 20,000 naira. In my mind, I said, intern, 20K. I'm a graduate too. Can I collect 20,000? For 20,000, I hope it's just, they will still give me something extra. Well, I said, let me just apply because after all, the location of the job is not too far from where I stay. So I applied. But when I applied, I did not expect that plenty of people will also apply for that job because I saw 20K. And the gist I always hear around is, any job I do, any job that pay 40K, they are wicked, I cannot take it, this and that. I applied. In fact, I even told, when I applied, I could not even tell my friends that I applied for a 20K job. I just said, I get interview. Say, guy, I said, I get one interview I go for. I didn't tell anybody. I went. I saw people in that, people came there. When I went there and I saw plenty of people, I was like, so me all of us here are going to collect 20,000. I was surprised. 20K. I was expecting now, maybe I'll still give myself and somebody because it's 20,000. But I saw plenty of people there for that same 20K. I said, okay, since we really be serious in this country. Then I now even got talking with some of the guys. Some of them told me, this is what they study, this is what they do. In my mind, I was like, you have gotten this job. Because me, I've not worked before. I went in for my own session, my own interview session. I left there, I was just, I have nothing to lose now. It's not just to interview. And because of how I looked at the job, I didn't wear suits that day. But I saw people that wore suit and tie for 20,000 naira job. At this point, I'm not even joking. For me, I didn't wear anything. I just wore my normal shirt and trouser because in my mind, I said, after all, it's not 20K. But like joke. Like 3 days after, I received an email telling me that I should come and pick up my offer letter. I was surprised. 20K. I've gotten a job. And that's how my journey started, from a 20K job. Now, when I started that 20K job, and I hope I'm all picking some things from what I'm telling you. When I started that 20K job, my first 2 months there, I was basically helping my boss to go and buy amala, use the ATM, buy petrol to fuel the generator. I was thinking about my life. That God, I finished from university or I'm a graduate, buying amala for somebody, fueling generator. To not even worsen the situation, one day I came to the office. My boss said that, have I swept? Have I swept the office? I was in that day, I realized, I thought that maybe, see, I will not make it in this life. I will sweep the office again on 20,000 naira job. But by month 3, things became more serious in that company. And they started giving me more responsibilities. And that was when I started building my competence. They told me that, see, we're going to pay you very soon. We'll make you a full-time staff, and then we'll pay you close to 100K. I said, okay, no problem. And now these people are talking. I didn't even know that there was such an opportunity to earn close to 100K. My people, when somebody says close to 100K, one will literally expect that at least nothing less than 90,000 naira, since you're saying close to 100K. But when they gave me an offer to convert me to a full staff, and let me tell you why they converted exactly. I'm seeing somebody's coming 80 to 90K. God bless you. Now, when they made me an offer to convert me to a full staff, guess how much they offered? 60,000 naira. I said, these people think I'm desperate. Without any other job in my hand, people, I resigned from that job. I said, I can't continue. This is slavery. Because now, the ideal thing is, somebody will say, but you do not have any other job. Why we should then just take it and just be holding body and soul? I knew, because you have to really think. I knew that if I accept this offer and I start doing this work, I will not have the time to be able to attend other interviews. And this thing it will drain my energy. And if I'm not careful, I will stay longer than I planned in this job. I said, the only way I can effectively be looking out is to leave this job and pour my focus so that I don't have to be lying to anybody when I want to go for an interview. And I have enough time to prepare very well for an interview. 3 months After I resigned, imagine I resigned. After resigning, I sat at home for 3 extra months. But I didn't really feel it as much. Why? Because I had something I was doing. I used to sell phones. So it kept me busy. My mind was still engaged. Because some people, when you're staying at home for too long and not doing anything, frustration begins to set in. And you start having some kind of funny thoughts. That's why having a skill or having a side hustle is very, very important. Look for something to do. Because if you have nothing doing and all you're doing is just to sit at home, especially now there's no light and everywhere is just boring. You'll be frustrated, you'll be angry. And people at home are not even helping matters. They'll be telling you all manner of things and it just make you very angry. So to avoid things like that, look for something that will take you out of the house. Sit at home. Don't sit at home. I will advise anybody looking, don't sit at home. If you are going to be at home, let me just know that you are at home, you are online, applying, looking for jobs, vetting the companies, and then applying for jobs. Not that you are home idle. Don't try as much as possible to get out of the house. Don't be too comfortable because when you are too comfortable, you will get frustrated, I tell you. And that was what helped me. Those 3 months I was waiting for the next opportunity. And by waiting, I wasn't just sitting. I told you, I was engaging in trade. I was selling phones. I went to Computer Village. Then, and I was still attending interviews. Interviews will come because I was applying right. And let me tell you, I don't just apply to any vacancy. Some people, you ask them, say everything. I just apply to everything. Anything I see, I apply. No, that's not how they apply. That is the wrong way to apply. Very wrong. Not anything you see. You look at your CV. You look at what you have achieved over time. Look at just do a form of person. Just do a person specification of yourself, and then look at the job. Because job adverts will tell you, okay, this is the kind of people we want. No more than 26. Finish with a 2-1. Completed NYSC. And then if you meet those requirements, you apply. But somebody that is saying apply for anything, it means that if you see a job that says no more than 26 and you're 30, you will still apply. That means you're wasting your time. And then at the end of the day, you come back and tell us that they did not invite you. If you are applying and nobody has called you for an interview, the question is, have you been applying at right? Is your CV, so have you checked, is your CV in order? Some people, you're not even concerned about your CV. Anything, just jump. I've seen people's CV, you jump back, just anything inside. You don't care what is obtainable in the market, so that you can arrange your CV accordingly. So that at least nothing is shooting you in the leg. Now, I got a second opportunity because I interviewed in several places after that. And the places are very, very nice places. Very nice places I interviewed him. I was even praying that God. So, in fact, some of the places I went out to interview, when I entered there and I interview and I see how fine the company is, I say, God, I want this place. I will pray, God, I want this place. I might not get it. I didn't get it. God, I want this place. Everywhere, God, I want this place. I will just pray. I didn't get it. Eventually, I landed another opportunity. Now, the next opportunity I landed, now they were offering to pay me 70,000 naira plus commission. I said 70K and commission. They first of all asked me, what is my salary expectation? I told them 100K straight. I didn't waste. I wasn't thinking. I said 100K because I knew what some skills I had acquired from the previous job. But then the man said no, that please he can afford to give me 70K plus commission. Huh? I thought about it, 70K plus commission. Now let me tell you something. When you're trying to build a career, money should not be first, please. Money. The only time you can begin to brag about money is when you know that you have built some form of muscle in a certain area. That is when you can begin to start bragging about money. But when you know you've not built anything yet, money should be the least of your concern. But at the same time, don't settle for rubbish. So I said, okay, no problem. I took up the opportunity. But by the time I started working, and the man saw the value I was bringing and the results, because your result is what will eventually speak for you. He saw the results. And you know what he did? From 70,000, he increased my money to 100K. And then he wasn't even joking with the commission. In fact, it was because of that job I now started liking commission. Because of that job, if I hear anything plus commission, I'm happy. I realized that from the commission, I was making as much as 250,000 naira on a monthly basis. He gingered me. I said, so minus the 90K this man has increased my salary to. I can get extra 150, almost 150 extra. That'll make me get up to about 250,000 naira a month. Ha, it's more. I like this job. And I was doing it. But at the same time, in my own head, I always told myself that, you, it is a multinational I want to work in. I don't want to work in. I don't want to stay in a one-man business for too long. It's a multinational I want to. So while I was still there, some people will have said, Hansel, this is your dream job. This is a very good, stay here for long. In my mind, I said, no, this is not really what I want. I want to work in a multi, because I realized that those that work in multinational, they don't have to work. And the lifestyle they live is different from my own lifestyle. I said, no, that is what I want. And then I knew a couple of friends that are working in some multinational. And if you see the salary that these guys are earning, I was not even asking myself, what's going on here in this same country? For example, I have a friend that got a job with ExxonMobil. Her salary is 1.5 million naira, not per year, per month. I have a friend that got a job with GE. His salary is 350,000 naira per month, not per year. And I'm asking myself, and I'm here jumping for 70 or 90,000 and then waiting for commission to balance up. I said, no, that multinational everybody is working. Me, if I want to work there, that money this buying, me too, I want it. And then I began to, but before that time, I understood the processes involved. I knew that to enter into such a place is work, because you will write tests, you will do series of interviews before they really make a final selection. I had prepared myself and prepared my mind for what was to come. Is it test? I smashed any test I wrote that time. Is it interview? I was more than prepared for interviews then, till I eventually got the one that was for me. Because many times when some door closes, it's just because the door is not for you, not because you did not do well. Everybody has their own door. When your door opens, you will know that you've entered your own door. And that was what happened for me. Now, part of the objectives they were giving me, or let me say my Oga Martins has given me for this program, is to let you know that, let you understand what the things that are needed to thrive in today's workplace. Because it's not enough for you to get this job. When you get in there, you need to fight for your space. Because at the end of the day, when things are not going as well, they will look for people to retrench. And you want to make sure you're not one of those that are going to sack. So what are the things you need to take note of? Now, these things, they might sound basic, but there are things that if you don't pay close attention to, it might be the reason why somebody will be let go. Let me mention the first one. Communication. Some of us struggle to communicate. You cannot just construct a simple sentence. It's a problem. I need to be able to communicate in a way that your message is received the way you want it to be received. Because if you are saying something and the other party is not understanding, you've not communicated. Communication is very essential in the workplace. How you communicate matters. Because you will make presentations. They might even tell you to go and meet up with vendors, meet up with clients, meet up with customers. How would you be able to engage those people if you cannot communicate properly? It would be a shame. And then at the end of the day, you're not seeing it. Somebody will say that they fired me. How will they fire you? You'll be first on the list when they were considering people that they will let go. Another thing is Microsoft Office proficiency. Many of us, if I tell all of you now, show me your CV, I will see that in there. Microsoft Office proficiency, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. But how many of us can really use all those applications or those tools rather? How many of us can really use all those tools? If I ask you, if they give you simple document to type, or tell you to write simple reports, it will be laced with a lot of errors here and there. Your guy will have to tell you, come and go and change it. Go and change it again. Go and change it. Why? If they keep telling you to go and change it and go and change it and go and change it, one day they will be tired that they will change you. It's you that they will change, not the document. It's you. They change that guy. It's not useful. PowerPoints. You make presentations. Can you use PowerPoints? Some of us cannot use PowerPoint. Then they ask you, how good are you in Excel? You are very quick to say 9, 8, 7. And then it's okay. We give you a document, or you analyze, or give you data, or you analyze since you are so good in Excel. And then you're sweating. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, you have not delivered. But I thought you said you're good in Excel. And you know the thing about all these things are things you can actually learn if you just open your mind and you're honest with yourself. Because if you're not honest with yourself, you will not learn. If you keep deceiving yourself, people will see you go to work and you come back. And then you lie that it's a very busy day. I have been very busy. Busy doing what? What did you do? So some of us are in that category just clock in and clock out. Because if I cannot measure my impact in an organization, I'll be afraid for myself. My last organization, I knew how much I was bringing in. The previous one, I knew how much I was contributing. Because I'm the one that used to invoice the clients. I knew how much. These were measurable results that nobody could dispute. I could tell you this is the amount of money I've contributed. I knew how much. Because if I'm working in a place and I don't know exactly what I'm contributing, I cannot tell you that this is what I'm contributing. And the only thing I can say is the only thing I used to help them to do is to type reports. You should be afraid for yourself. Because you should be gunning for value. Even if you say you're a front desk officer in a place, you should understand you should ask questions. What is this company I work in? What is the business they are doing? How can I contribute extra? Even if it's to look for new customers that will come and pay, bring money, it's something. You can pinpoint that am I not the one that brought in 5 customers when they're doing your appraisal? You can have something to boast about. And when it's time for promotion or time for salary increase, you have what you used to boast about. But if there's really nothing you've contributed, what are you boasting about? How will you get promoted? Another thing I'm going to look at now is how to resign. When is it okay to leave a workplace? For example, you get a job. If the job you're not finding fulfillment in what you are doing, you're not happy with what every day you are thinking, your blood pressure is going high. Your boss just keeps on insulting you day in, day out. You are thinking about your life. That is the time for you to start actively looking out. And the job is just so monotonous. There's nothing really fantastic about what you're doing. Just anybody can even any primary school student will enter there and do what you're doing. It is time to start actively looking out for other opportunities. Don't be too comfortable. Because if you are too comfortable in such a job, you will not know when time will have gone. And you will not know when you will have spent some 4 or 5 years in that same job role. And then by the time somebody carries your CV to review your CV, you just say that I have been a carpenter in one place for 7 years. And then you now come and tell me the answer. And I will come and enter my Twitter DM and say, Honey Talker, I am good in finance. So if you see any finance job, I'll say, yeah, send me your CV. I'll now see your CV. I'll say that I have been a carpenter for 7 years in Chinedu and Sons. How do you want me to help you? I cannot help you now. Because you have stayed too long there. You've stayed too long there. Too long. 7 years, 5 years. It's too long now. It's too long. If you have spent 3 months as a carpenter in a place and you quickly find another opportunity or searched another opportunity to be maybe a cashier somewhere. From a cashier, you became a finance officer somewhere. That's progress. By the time you see an opportunity in finance, and they say maybe they need somebody with 2 years experience, you can send me your CV and say, see you, look at what I've done. And I'll say, no problem. Sorry, let's see how we can push you for such an opportunity. And some people, when they want to resign, they don't know how to resign from an organization. Especially the ones that treated them in a funny way. You say, I'll resign anyhow, I don't care. You should be careful how we shut the door. Because it's not like I still again to come back there. Because for me, if I leave a place, I can never come back there. Come and do what? Come back and do what? So I'm just living in a good note, just so that in case I see you outside tomorrow, we can shake hands and we can smile. And I can even bring business to you. Who knows, you might even know some other opportunity that you think I might be interested in, and let me know. That kind of thing. So we need to be careful. No matter how bad they treat us, just remain professional. If you want to resign, you send an email. If people who don't have that, what do you call it, that luxury, write a note, type it, print out your resignation letter, and submit to your boss. Submit the proper way. Some of you, the companies might have a procedure for handover. Maybe they will need you to hand over to the next person that will take on from you. You hand over properly. Maybe there's some things you need to retire. You do it, everything, do it properly. Maybe you are with the office laptop, you drop their laptop for them. You don't steal any of their property. I've seen people that will say, Shebi, they've been owing me salary for 2 months. I will run away with their laptop and I will sell that laptop and collect my money. Stealing is stealing, or however you want to call it. That's still stealing. There's a proper way to resign. It's not like as if I'm perfect. I've made my own mistakes. Like that my job where they told me that they'll pay me close to 100, and they came and made me offer of 60,000, and they don't even appreciate anything one does. Let me tell you how I resigned. I resigned in a funny way. I went to the office one day, and then I was expecting that my boss would show up in the office that day. I already prepared a letter that I wanted to give her. But she wasn't. She didn't come to the office that day. Because that day I told myself I'm not coming. I'm going to drop my letter today, and this is going to be my last day. I cannot continue doing this work. She did not come that day. And because I made up my mind that it's this particular day that was going to be my last day, I didn't want to go to work the next day. So what I did was I called her. I called her on phone that night. I said, "Good evening, ma'am." She said, "Good evening." I said, "Please, I won't be coming again now." She didn't even understand. She thought that maybe I meant that I will not be going, because we had 3 different locations we used to work. She thought that maybe I'm not going to go to a certain location. She now said, "Okay, so I'm going to go to the VI office." I said, "No, I didn't say I'm not going to." I said, "I'm not coming again now. I'm not. I'm not coming." She said, Hansel, what you're doing, is it right?" I didn't even know what to say. She said, "Is it right? Is it right?" I said, I didn't have any answer for her. And that was how I stopped going there. But that is the wrong way to resign. It was a mistake I made because that was my early days. And I was so naive. But now I know better. I mean, my last organization, the previous one I worked in before I moved, I wanted to resign. I wrote a letter. I had a conversation with my boss. I even told him, I said, "This is where I'm going to." And they did send off or send forth, whatever you call it. We did small party, had a emotional session where some people were crying. That was a very good way. Until today, the man still sends me messages. I still send him message. He calls me to find out how I am. Sometimes, in fact, just last week, he called me to ask me if I'm still interested in coming back. In my mind, I say, "Oh, guys, like you have smoked something. I'll leave where I am, with the money I'm collecting, the opportunity I have." Let me even start. I say, "Oh, God, can you pay me dollars?" I just wanted to believe that he was just joking. But what I'm trying to say is that if you're going to resign the proper way. Resign the proper way. You cannot just resign anyhow. There's a procedure. Send an email. Let them acknowledge it. Although sometimes some bosses can be very funny. But there's a proper way to resign. But when you say that you're not growing on your job, the job is not, you're not finding fulfillment on what you're doing, please start actively looking out. Don't be too comfortable with where you are. Because it's when you're comfortable, you will not know when time will pass. You will spend 3 years, you will spend 4 years because you are too comfortable with your job. Because when you're not comfortable with something, you'll be restless. There's a way you behave when you're not comfortable. You'll be very restless, very restless. Maybe you stay in a place that is very hot. You see yourself, you will stand up, you will start finding yourself. You'll be pacing up and down because the place is too hot. Why? You're not comfortable there. So when you're not comfortable, your actions will show that you're not comfortable. You'll be applying aggressively. As you're applying, opportunities will come for you to go, to interview. And then you go ahead and go for your interview. And then another question I'm asking is, so when that interview comes, how will we do it? You have to look at the timing. That's another thing. You need to be very observant. You need to be very observant. Sometimes some interviews, they give the opportunity to propose a time. If the time they give you for an interview does not favor you, please don't force it. Send them an email. That this time, sorry, please, that this time cannot work. And they are proposing another time. It has happened to me several times. I've received, in fact, there was one particular interview I went for. We rescheduled like 3 times. The first time they gave me a particular day and time, I said this cannot work. Because I know at that time and that day, my boss will be in the office. They gave me another time, I said this one cannot work. I still proposed. And I gave the effort up on the point where we now fixed the time, and the time we fixed was at the close of work, so that I can just go for the interview peacefully. Once I packed my bag and I've left work, I was going there to the office straight for my interview. So it is okay to reschedule an interview if the time does not favor you, so that you don't, lose the current opportunity that you have. Because some bosses might not take it lightly with you. When they hear that, I've come to go and interview someone, I'll say, hey, so you want to run away? Before you run away, I'll sack you. So we all have to be careful. But, some places, if you're working in a very nice place and you have built a relationship with your boss, some bosses, you can be open with them and say, Ola, I'm going somewhere, I'll interview. And such bosses, I'm sure I know you're laughing. There are bosses like that you can confide in. There was one funny situation that happened one time. Because I used to be in recruitment. A candidate that we scheduled for an interview. Because we used to send candidates to multinationals, to companies to go and interview so they can work there. He went there that day, and unfortunately for him, he met his boss in that place, and his boss also came for an interview. Because he didn't want his boss to know, he had to hide inside the toilets. I had to call the HR officer in that company. Please, this candidate, his boss is around, and they cannot see each other. Please hide this guy. And they hid the guy inside the toilet. That man was in it. This is somebody's father. Somebody's father was in the toilet for hours, waiting for his boss to finish his own interview and leave the place so that he can go in and have his own interview. Such a person now, he understands the kind of boss he has. So he was just being careful, because I'm sure if some other person say, what's there? Should be the boss to care for interview. Let us see ourselves and say, but who knows the kind of relationship he had with the boss that made him to want to hide inside the toilet. Because that's another thing. We need to be very observant when you're in the workplace. And now, some of us will now aspire, say you want to become a manager in some, maybe XYZ time, you want to be a manager. There's an attitude of a manager. At the early stage of your career, remember what I said, when I say career, it's an occupation, something you are doing within a long stretch of time. So don't let anybody confuse and make you feel like it's something very, how would I put it, it's high up there, a different world of its own, It is not, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. At the early stage of your career, what you should be focused on is building competence. Be very good at what you do. At the early stage, that should be your focus. Be very good at what you do. Try to build depth in what you're doing. Let them know that when it comes to doing this, that is the guy you should talk to. That is the guy you should talk to. That is the guy you should talk to. When you give Hansel any task, you can go to bed. He will do it. You should be concerned about building your competence at the early stage. As you grow, for those of us that aspire to be a manager someday, your competence will not be enough. You will need to know how to navigate your office politics. You will need to know every office they have politics. So you need to understand the politics that is being played and how to navigate it. And then there's an attitude you carry, you need to portray for the next level. There's an attitude for every level you are. Any height you seek to attain, there's an attitude. Even the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, the way you talk matters. So there's somebody will not ask, are you a manager material? With the way that guy is behaving. That you are very good at your job is not enough. But at the early stage, Because that is the stage where you do a lot of yes, sir, okay, sir, yes, sir, okay, sir, yes, sir. You have to humble yourself and try and put your head down and be good at what you're doing. But when you grow, it's beyond being good. In fact, at that point, everybody knows that you can deliver, you can do the job. But now this is the point where you need to manage people. So the question is, are you a manager material? You need to carry yourself like a manager, dress like one, talk like one, behave like one. That's why sometimes you hear people resign. They resign not because they have a bad job. I can see somebody's come and charisma, they're right. It's not because they have a bad job, but because their managers are wonderful people. And sometimes you want to ask, how did that person get to that level? Maybe the sort of organization, the only thing they were looking at was the fact, or they were carried away by the fact that that guy is too much. He delivers on the job. So because he delivers, let us just make him a manager. But in some other organization, they are very careful about who they promote. Very careful about who they promote. If you're not manager material, forget it. Forget it. So that sometimes some organizations will take you, when you're going to reach that level, they'll take you on leadership training. They'll send you for a course. Go and learn what it is to be a leader. Because at that stage, you are going to be managing people. And these people, you'll be more like a consultant to them. When there's a problem, they come and meet you, Oga manager. I'm having an issue, what do I do? And because you're a manager, it is assumed that you already know what's up. And you will now be able to guide and direct them. We are do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Organizations have hierarchy. Especially for multinationals. If you're a one-man business or owner-managed business, there's no hierarchy. There's one person that'll do everything. You are a cleaner, you are a sweeper, you are this, you are a typewriter, you are everything. At the end of the day, they will still pay you 35,700. There's a hierarchy. But the hierarchy is so that as an officer, by the time you submit your work to a manager, before the manager will submit that report to maybe a director, the director will assume that there will be no mistake. Because as long as that report has reached the manager's table and the manager has vetted it okay, what the director needs to do is to carry it and say, yeah, this is it. CEO, look at it. That means you are that good. That's why building competence is very important. And let me tell you one good thing about building competence. When you are very good at your job, it's very easy for you for your salary to increase very fast. Because if I move from one company to another, your salary, you can look at how I started now. I started with company A, that was paying me 20,000 naira. Moved to company B, that started me on 70,000 naira. Later increased it to 90,000. And then subsequently, I was earning 250K because of the commissions that were coming with it. And then I moved from that company B to a company C, where I started touching dollars. So you can imagine. Just being good at what you do can make you earn the kind of money you want to earn. Now there's a profession, all these software engineers or tech guys, they're the ones I really enjoy. Because they can start as high as 400,000 naira just for start. And that's 400,000 is just, please manage it. Those are the guys that are really earning so much. They don't need to be a manager. They are software guys that don't need to be a manager to earn a lot. He will be earning manager salary as just as an officer. Why? Because they're very good at what they do. They have been learning how to program things. Some of them right from when they were in 100 level in university. That's why when they came out from university, they are now all kick. So you can see, being good at what you do is very important. Now, finally, I'm going to talk about some workplace etiquette. You know, working in an organization, you have to ensure that you are very professional in what you are doing. There's a way to eat, there's a way to talk, there's a way to behave. For a guy, you don't enter a workplace and you are just, telling, no matter what kind of relationship people have built, you cannot enter a workplace and you see a lady and say, man, I like your backside. Or this your skirt is killing me. And this your dress, you look like, that's not professional, that's not professional. You need to control yourself. There's even a way to talk. And you don't even shout in the office. Some people, they just lose it. Because you work with people, they will get on your nerves, but you must still remain professional. You cannot enter a workplace and you're saying God will punish you. You are very mad, if not for God. What I will have done to you. No, you don't do that in the office. You don't do that. There's a procedure. Somebody gets upset, you probably write to your HR to come and settle the issue. There's a way to behave. When you're composing your email, there's a professional way to send an email. You don't use shorthand when you're writing an email. Before you send an email, you read it 3 times before you click that button, send. You read it as yourself. I read it as the person you are sending the email to be sure that the person will interpret it the way you want it to be interpreted. Try to play every possible scenario in your head. Hope if I say sweet dreams, the person will not see it as go and die. Hope if I use the word sweet dreams, the person will see it as good nights and not go to hell. You play everything, and if you do it that way, you'll be careful about your choice of words when you're sending an email. You'll be careful. There's a way to behave in the workplace. And then they give you a task. You deliver, and they give you a deadline. You try as much as possible to deliver on the deadline. You cannot get every day one excuse or the other, every day one excuse or the other. No. And when you're going to work, you dress professionally. You don't just dress anyhow. I don't care anything. I just pick it. The rumple shirts, the rumple skirt, I rock it. I don't owe anybody. No. Try as much as possible to look good. No, comb your hair properly as a guy. No, comb your beard if you have one. Look sharp. When you get to the office, the way you relate with people. The way you relate to people in the office. When people extend their hand for a handshake, firm handshake. I will have, there's a lot of other etiquette and protocols I'll have loved to show you, at least in a practical sense, not just theory. But time will not permit me one, and that is not the only thing that this session was built for, or meant for, or was designed for. But those are the simple things that matter. Now, I failed to mention, when I was talking about the things that will help you thrive in the workplace, I only talked about communication. Now, listening is another thing. You need to practice how to listen when you're in the workplace. Your boss will tell you something, you listen. Don't be so quick to respond. You wait and be sure you understand. Because if you listen properly, you will have questions to ask. Oh, did you mean it like this? Or when you say this, what do you mean? This thing is another very important skill you must have. Because if your boss tells you, please go and do this, and you are hearing something different, and then you are very quick to go and act. You come back and you make mistakes, and then you just wasted your time and wasted your boss time. Just like how I was talking to somebody one day, I said, I missed you. The person heard, I made stew, like Orolo stew. But I said, I missed you, like, oh, I miss you. But the person heard, I made stew. You can see. If the person had asked, what did you say? What did you say? I will have repeated myself if you did not hear properly. Don't assume. Never assume in the workplace. Be sure you heard correctly. I made stew. I missed you. I did the same thing. Not the same thing. Listening is very important. Very important. Another thing you need to learn how to do is how to negotiate. How to negotiate. You need to know how to see, and there's a way they can argue. If you want to argue in the workplace, there's a right way to argue. Oh, you made a solid point, but can we also look at it in this direction? Okay, I understand the angle you're coming from, but in my own opinion, I think we can do it like this. You can see, there's a way we can argue, there's a way we can negotiate in the workplace. It's a skill. And never take it personal. Somebody says, I don't agree with your points. It's nothing. Anybody can agree or disagree with your points. It's his own opinion. He's trying to pass. He says he's not agreeing with your point. No problem. He has made his own, has brought forth a strong reason. Until you come up with your own facts. So make sure anything you're saying, you have facts and probably figures to back it up. Oh, you say you don't agree with my points, but I'm still trying to let you understand that. But you know, some people, when you reach that point where it's time to negotiate or not argue, it's an argument actually. And that's why in an argument, there's something they call superior argument. And when you realize that somebody brings a superior argument, I mean, you should calm down. But some people will take it in a different direction. And then turn it something else. Oh, somebody will say, I don't agree with your point. What do you agree as well? What does it mean? What are you saying that I don't? What are you talking? You are talking nonsense. You are speaking in the rubbish. How can you tell me that you don't agree with my point? There's something wrong. Are you the only one that have sense? I have sense too. But it's not a matter of whether you have sense or you don't have sense. You made a point that somebody does not argue with. Does not agree with. You acknowledge. It's okay, no problem. But this is how I feel we should go about it. This is why I mentioned this point in the first place. I was speaking with Mr. Martins, and Mr. Martins was telling me that this. We both looked at it together, we both analyzed it, and that's how we arrived at this discussion or this conclusion that I'm telling you. And every argument has something they call a premise. It is the foundation of which an argument is built. And when your premise is shaky, just know that you will lose the argument. You will lose it. Or if your argument is predicated upon a strong premise, a foundation, and that foundation, if it's built with facts and figures, you're close. You're close. And then, in terms of negotiation, you might be faced with issues with circumstances where you have to negotiate with vendors to drive down the prices of goods. Because if you come out and say tomorrow that you help the company save XYZ costs, it's to your credit. And what will help you do that is negotiation. And then one secret behind negotiation is for you to allow the other party to go first. Let the other party propose. Don't be so quick to say, I want to pay you 100,000. No? Allow the other party to say, this is how much we are saying this thing should go. That way, it will help you negotiate better. Okay, you say you're going to do that. 100K or nothing. Okay, 100K. That's why if when you go to the market, and all the Igbo guys are trying to persuade you to buy stuff, you'll say, oh, God, talk your price. How much you want to pay? How much you want to pay? Talk your price. And I say, okay, I want to pay 200 naira. You say, oh, God, fantastic. You try. You say, oh, God, you try. If I tell you, say, you don't try, you say, like, you try. 200 naira, you try. But I did not buy this for 200 naira. I bought it for 350. And just because of you, I removed 15 naira, paid 300. Remember that you said 200 naira. He stayed away from your 200, went all the way to 350, removed 15 naira, and is now talking 300 naira. Can you see? Because if he had opened his mouth and just give me one amount, that would have formed the basis for you people's negotiation. So, no, I'll pay 200 now. Since you say 350, it's 200 I'll pay. If you don't want 200, go and sleep. I won't give you. I won't buy. That kind of thing. So that's another thing you need to learn and ask you how to negotiate in the workplace. So I've mentioned some things now. How to communicate, and communication is not just having the right words or having the right message. You have to ensure that the message you're communicating is received properly. It achieves the purpose for which it has been sent. It is received properly by the person you are trying to communicate with or are trying to send a message to. And there are different mediums of communication. It might be through email, it might be when you're doing a presentation, and when you're communicating with your colleagues in the office. I spoke about listening. You need to listen actively. Don't be too quick to respond. And make asking questions be a lifestyle. Be very inquisitive. Oh, you said this. Maybe you're giving an instruction in the workplace. They're giving an instruction. You just say, sorry, sir. Sorry, ma. Just to clarify. You said I should sweep the office, wash the table, and iron your clothes. Is that correct? Your boss will say, yes, that's what I said. And then you can go and either implement. Because tomorrow, if anything goes wrong, your boss cannot come for you. There was an agreement. You mentioned that these are the things you said. And your boss said, yeah, these are the things. And then you went ahead to implement. The minute when people have problems, it's because they did not clarify. They assumed, boss, you told me I should do this now. Okay. That man does like to cause problem. Should be the man said I should do this now. And I did it. But you were there. There's no need for all those back and forth. Right from when the instruction has been given to you, you clarify. Ensure that you people are on the same page. Clarify expectations before you go ahead to go and implement anything. It is very, very important. Very important. Very, very important. And then in the workplace, you need to learn how to work with people. Working with people is not HR. You say, what do I do on HR? I say, I'm passionate about people. I just like to work with people. Everybody, as long as you're working in a workplace, you will have to work with people. Except the workplace is just you, except they are the alpha and the omega of that workplace. But if there are other people that are working there in that organization, you will have to work with them. And working with people is another skill you need to master. You need to learn how to collaborate. I know I like to do my own thing on my own. Every man for himself, every man should carry his cross. No, you need to learn how to work with people effectively. It's another skill that you must master. How to work with people. Yes, they will step on your toes, because everybody has a different point of views. People come with their different characters, different mindsets, different beliefs, different cultures. But you need to learn how to manage and work effectively with people. Because there might be times where you might need a certain thing from a certain person, but because you've gotten on the wrong footing, it might make your own work very difficult, and you will not want to find yourself in such a position. At this juncture, I think I will rest my case because I've already used up my time. I'll leave the floor open to the organizers and for questions and answers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause, an emoji applaud for Mr. Hansel Praise. Let's keep the emoji applauds coming. That was super value. Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Praise. Thank you so much. You know, some of these values you've given us today are what people pay for courses, who go as far as or as much as paying up to $50 . 20 . 20 . 20 . 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20 $25, $10. To get this value, but
Good afternoon, everybody. We're sorry for the network issues. Network is fluctuating. So, if you have any questions for Mr. Hansel, based on all that he has taught us so far, and it's much. I have like how many pages filled up in my notes. Thank you very much for an amazing session, sir. If you have any questions, please send them into the inbox, and we will relay them so as to allow for order and so we don't get to talk over each other. He has a few minutes more with us so he can answer our questions from his wealth of experience and his practical stories about how he has fared in his journey. I'm sure we enjoyed the session. Okay, so we're going to waiting for our questions before he rounds up. Any questions? So we're going to assume that we all understood what he said. Okay, thank you. There's a question here, sir. It says, how do we set boundaries in a workplace, especially with superiors, without stepping on toes?
Okay, how do you set boundaries with your superior? What kind of boundaries? Can you let's put it in context? Let the person ask the question. Let's put it in context.
The question is, and I'm not sure if you can hear me, how do we set boundaries in a workplace, especially with superiors, without stepping on toes?
Yeah, I heard the question clearly. I'm saying let us put the question in context. So the person that asked that question should provide a context. What kind of boundaries are you trying to set?
Okay.
I don't want to just answer generally. Let's be specific. What kind of boundaries are you trying to set without stepping on your boss's toe?
All right, sir. For example, boundaries on values. Say you are expected to falsify a figure for the company benefit.
Okay. Okay. If you're talking about upholding your own personal values such that you don't step on your boss's toes. For example, you're a man or a woman of integrity, and then your boss is someone that likes to cut corners, and you don't want to do that, and at the same time, you don't want to offend your boss. Well, you need to be very diplomatic in what you're doing. Ha! Right from day one, people should know where you stand. Right from your day one of joining an organization, they should know where you stand. Because if they know where you stand, there are certain things that they will not bring your way. I mean, I'm sure we can all agree that you'll be in a position or be in a group where people will just say, "Oh, more this guy, forget about this guy." Maybe they're sharing, let's say, alcohol, and they'll say, "I'm gonna forget about Mr. Martins. That one he doesn't drink. Leave him. Let's free that guy. Free that. That one a dead guy. He doesn't drink. Why? Because he has established or created, something in the minds, an impression in the minds of everybody. So if you have created such an impression, I mean, there are certain for your boss. If your boss is such that kind of person, there's some things that they will not even bring to you. Right? If they won't be hiding such from you. They will be hiding some certain things. Oh, see, leave that woman. That woman, leave that lady. That lady, she did very harsh with guys. Oh, don't joke with her. Because where I currently work, for example, we have some ladies that you can tell almost your shape, you have a mad shape. I have some ladies that before you open your mouth and say such a thing, you think twice because of the impression they have created in the minds of everybody. So for me, if you find yourself in that situation, it depends on whatever impression you have created in the mind of your boss. So that's what will make things either easy for you or difficult. Okay, let's assume you got off on your own footing and probably you've not created any form of impression and you just assume that you should go with the flow. Then you should look for a way to politely pass your message across. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Please don't be annoyed. I don't usually do this or I don't do that. Politely. Because there's a way you will talk to somebody and pass a message across that they will not take offense. There's a way you also talk to somebody and pass a message across and they'll say they are very rude and they'll read meaning to what you've done and then they'll take it off from there. It might escalate to something bigger than what it should have been. So diplomacy is key in all of this, and also trying to create an impression in the mind of everybody when you step into a place, so that they know that this is where you stand or this is what you stand for. Because if you don't do that, then it means that anything that comes your way, you have to take it that way. But then, if you find yourself in that situation, diplomacy and tact is what will save you at the end of the day.
Very, very much for that response, sir. There's another question here. It says, "Thank you, sir, for the value you've blessed us with this afternoon. My question is, what would you advise a fresh graduate who wants to go into a career path totally different from the field of study, no relevant experience or the works? Thank you."
Sorry, I was a bit distracted. Please read the question again.
What would you advise a fresh graduate who wants to go into a career path totally different from the field of study with no relevant experience or the works?
Okay, career are totally different. Well, many times what we all do is always totally different from what we study. I mean, I work in an oil and gas firm. I have done business analysis, I've done finance, I've done a bit of engineering, and I studied international relations. So you can see it's quite different. So many times we'll all should admit that what you study in university is not necessarily what you're going to come and do in the world of work. But now, as a fresh graduate, the options available to you, especially if you finish with a 2-1, you finish with a first class, is to eye or aim for graduate trainee programs. I bet you those platforms are the opportunity for you to grow, to thrive, especially in international. And you're in here, graduate trainee, by all means apply. the procedure will be rigorous. Prepare your mind for it. Prepare by now to take tests. It's no news that you will take tests, so you should prepare yourself for what is to come. Or if you're the type that probably you don't have the head for maths because you cannot escape it in all those tests, then look out for internship opportunities. There must be an, I mean, you sit down and do the research. What, okay, fine. What areas are available to me in a workplace? There's HR, there's accounting slash finance, there's supply chain, there's UI UX design, there's procurement, there's logistics, there's operations, there's administration. Which one applies to me? Which one appeals to me? Which one am I interested in? And try to see if you can go on for internships in all those areas. Because to get a full-time opportunity might not be easy. Since, like you said, you have no experience. Just like me, so when I came out, I was looking out for graduate training opportunities. I was looking out for internships, and that's how I was able to land one internship. And the graduate training opportunity I applied, I went through some of the stages at some point, and I was just not scale through that kind of thing. So those are the kind of things you should not go aim for someone that is just fresh out of university with little or no experience. But then if you finish with a 2-2 and a third class, you know you cannot be aiming for any graduate training opportunity because your class or degree has already cut you out from the whole equation. So for you now, it's that internship you should be looking out for. And those internships, you're looking out for internships with companies that are close by you, close by or close to the area where you reside. So that in case they decide that it's 10,000 naira they will give you, it won't pay you for 15,000, at least it can transport you to that place and back to your house, that kind of thing. So that would be my own advice for such individuals. And also, you can even volunteer as well. You can volunteer to work somewhere in some places so that you can just build up, start building your work experience section in your CV and building up your skills or something. Reach out to people through LinkedIn. Share the organizations that you are interested in working in. It might not be big organizations, even some small organizations. We have a lot of many, some CEOs of some small and medium scale enterprises on LinkedIn. You need to go online and do your research and find out those organizations, who their CEOs are, and try to look for them on LinkedIn so that you can reach out to them and have like a one-on-one conversation with these guys. And signal, and when you're having that conversation, make sure you're properly prepared because they'll ask you questions just to know how, just to check your level of interest.
All right, thank you very much, sir. The final question for today is, for an entry-level job or internship, how do you avoid being taken advantage of, say being used for odd jobs outside your job description, jobs that are irrelevant to your growth?
Wait, you might need to take that again. You're too fast. Please, wait,
I'm
take the
sorry.
question again.
For an entry-level job or internship, how do you avoid being taken advantage of, say, being used for odd jobs outside your job description, jobs that are irrelevant to your growth?
Well, you should own, at the end of the day, you should understand that you're the one that owns your career, not anybody, not any organization. So, like we said right from the onset of this meeting, when you're not getting what you should get out of your current job, start actively start looking out for the opportunities because I mean you might not be able to avoid such. When I started helping my boss to buy amala, I could not say no. Help her to buy fuel for generator, I could not say no. Help her to use the ATM, I couldn't say no. I was doing all those and I did that for 2 months straight until the day monkey went to the market and monkey did not come back. I said I cannot continue like this and I had to leave. But then some people might not be as this thing like myself, and so we need to wait for another opportunity to come out. So by that time, when you see that you are faced with such a situation, you need to start actively looking out for other opportunities.
All right, thank you so very much, sir. I'm sure we have had an amazing session today. Thank you all so much for being around. Thank you very much, sir, for the value that you have given to us.
We do not take this for granted. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the first session in the Debunk 2020 conference with Mr. Hansel Praise, who has taken us through an entire wealth of information that is very practical, very simple, and easily applicable. Thank you so very much once again, sir, for this.
But sorry, before I go, because I'm also very particular about impact. Sorry, I'm trying to sneeze. I expected people to have a lot of questions. So I want to assume, I want to believe that many of us that are here, we don't have any challenge job-wise, because I was expecting that you would just bear it all out, whatever challenge you're having regarding this job thing, whatever myth you have in your head, whatever funny idea or funny thoughts. Because I'm sure there are people here that have been applying severally and not landing an opportunity. This would have been a very good opportunity for you to not bear it all out. So I don't know whether it's because there are a lot of people here and you just don't want people to know what challenge you're facing in terms of job or your career. Okay, so I'm hearing some really here are still undergraduates. Okay. But even as undergraduates too, you can still look out for opportunities. As an undergraduate, I looked out for. I always on the lookout for internship opportunities. It's when I had to even go to the company myself. I read the letter, carry my leg, like as if I was walking the street of Lagos, go and talk to the DG of that organization. And I learned an opportunity and I did my internship there. And I had it on my CV just to build my resume and all those kind of things. So whatever challenge you have, this will have been a good platform. So I've bear it all out and I'll have answered such questions. I'm just saying.
All right, thank you, sir. So if you have any challenges with internships, jobs, please can you send in message? Okay, someone says, I hardly get invites for interviews and I don't know why. I think that's supposed to be a question.
Okay, so you hardly get invites, right? The question is, are you applying to the right jobs? Because sometimes all these vacancies we see just anywhere. These are old vacancies that are being recycled and published. Because I'm always very particular about the place. When I used to apply for jobs, then I'm always very particular about the places I used to apply for. If I cannot figure out the company, I cannot go on a website and see what this company does, I hardly apply. I don't apply just for it, and I always check the dates that the job has been posted. That's why I'm always waking up and sleeping on LinkedIn, because I can see the recruiter that is publishing that job directly. And let me tell you something, although some people on LinkedIn are publishing other people's job and they don't even know when they're publishing old jobs, how I know that the job is actually current and fresh is, for example, I see Martins or Osazua. I look at his profile, he posted a job, and let's say the job he posted was a finance officer at youleadproject.com. And then I go to his profile, I see Martins Osazua, recruiter at Youlead Project. I know that this guy is working there. That is why he came and posted his company's job. And I look at the time he posted it. Oh, he posted his job 1 hour ago, because LinkedIn will let you know the time. Or I posted his job 2 hours ago. This is still fresh. Let me apply. And I can go ahead and click on Youlead Project and open their company page on LinkedIn and see that, okay, these are the other employees that are working there. I look at their profile. Oh, they've been here for 5 years. They've been here for 6 years. That means this is a legit opportunity. And I apply. But not many of us do such. You don't any opportunity anywhere. You don't know whether it's an expired job or it's a recycled job. You just apply. Another thing is you apply when you are not even fit for the role. They're asking that this is a role for somebody with 10 years. And you that have 2 years experience, you're applying for it. Okay, what are you looking for? They will not shortlist you now. Nobody will call you. So as an actor, you need to be careful. And sometimes your CV might not even be properly positioned for that opportunity that you're applying for. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this our conversation today. And sometimes some people are just so carefree and careless about the CV. You don't give a damn. Just jam pack everything. You're not even concerned about the font, the style, and everything about your CV. It also matters and it's also very important, because your CV has to be appealing to the person that read it. It has to be appealing to the eye. So that's also very important.
Thank you very much, sir. There is another question here. How do we assess and get the right opportunities?
I just give you an example now, and I said using LinkedIn is a very important tool. And I give you an example. Go ahead and Google all these recruiters. Just go to your LinkedIn search bar, type recruiter. It will give you opportunity in people, in company, in jobs. Click on in people. Go to your filter. Use your filter. Filter it to location Nigeria. It will reduce the number of recruiters available and begin to send each of them connection requests. If you cannot send, in fact, forget about connection requests because that might even waste your time because some of them might not accept your request on time. Go and follow all of them. You can follow as many recruiters as possible from different organizations. Don't limit yourself to one organization. Follow them. And the reason you are following them is anytime they post anything, it will appear on your feed, on your timeline. So that you can immediately attend to it. But then some of them, like I told you, will post old jobs that does not belong to their company. You need to vet it before you apply for such. But as long as you are sure that this person is working, for example, a workforce, and they put out a job vacancy and they are seeing send CV to Lady Redolent at workforce, something like that. You know that this is a legit vacancy and they can go ahead and apply.
All right. Thank you, sir. I think we have two questions now, and after that, we'll have to move to the next session. The next question is, should having no experience stop you from applying?
Well, of course, now there are jobs that require no experience. Like the graduate training roles, they are those ones they are willing to train you. That's why they call it a graduate training. The company has allocated a certain amount of money to train you to come and do what they want you to do. So there's opportunity for you for those without experience.
Thank you so much. The last question. I've been getting invites for graduate training jobs, but the second recruitment process, which is the aptitude test, is always the problem. Is there a way to prepare for each company's test, or they are all the same?
But different companies have different formats for the different formats they use. Some use SHL, some use GMAT style, some use whatever style. But the thing is, mathematics, some things are constant. Numerical, verbal, they're constant. So you can go ahead and prepare yourself, get materials. You can use GMAT, it won't fail you. And start preparing for numerical, start preparing for verbal. Or you can make requests or go online and search for companies, whatever organization you are interviewing or you're interviewing with. Look at their past questions. Go online, go on Naira and check what people are saying. How was it? Get some pointers to help to aid your own preparation. Because, for example, me, before I take any company's test, I go online and check. Let me see if I can get some sample questions or an idea of the format that this company uses for their tests. That will help me to prepare. So I'm not just preparing because if I'm saying I'm just preparing just about anything, it will be so much and it will be too much work on my part. But by the time I go and do my research, to help me to prepare in the right direction. So that by the time I go back and sit down and write that test, I have no choice but to smash it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much, sir. Oof. Okay, there's other questions coming in, but
I know that the time
we'll have to wrap up this session now.
I like this.
I'm so sorry, we'll have to wrap up this session now. So, if you're interested in how will that work?
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. It has been a pleasure being in this session.
Thank you so very much, sir. We really, really appreciate. Thank you very much.